have zero tolerance for meth because the meth users, for some reason, are always behavior problems and cause disruption in the community. So we ask that people be clean from meth for 90 days before moving in, and then stay clean. So if we do a random test and they test positive for meth, they're asked to leave within 3 days. Two-story house converted into a community building, but he was talking about, he would design the community building and some kind of a workshop area. He called this one, he's calling it an art studio. It could be something else. Next. And everything nicely landscaped, you see, because that uplifts the spirits also.
Right.
To be around nature and so on. And remember, we're dealing with a population of very low self-esteem and this property. He helped her pick the property out, actually. And he said, we're going to build the prototypes here. And so what he does is he comes around and talks to the residents that are living in the
right issues with the city, because you can't just build something on property even that you own.
Yeah.
Right? There have to be permits that go out for that.
Yeah.
So look at how they've navigated that so well.
So this is what our force structure is supposed to look like when it's done. It's hexagonal. It's going to be, these are all bedroom units, they're just sleeping quarters. And we're not, every time we build a new structure, it's replacing a tent shelter.
I see.
But they're all on wooden platforms, so nobody's on the ground. They have straight wall tents designed to be suspended below a canopy. There's no tent poles. In there right now. I say lives, it's a sleeping space, A lot of the living is done in the community building. But anyway, that's Ray's sleeping space. Okay, then we have organic garden in the back with fruits and vegetables that are grown organically, and our residents eat out of the garden. So, at least we encourage them to, and some of them are very good. We crop the peaches in July. Okay, next. And there's also a plum tree. That's our front landscaping. That's the stuff that's being watered by the outdoor shower and the outdoor washing machine. Our indoor shower and washing machine don't do that, they just go to the sewer. Cocoon idea, this is Art Dyson's explanation. It's like, so you're in this little rounded thing, nobody can get to you while you're in there, you're in a safe place. So there's a feeling of being very safe when you're in there. And that's the psychology of this one. So that's the captain's bed inside. You were asking about furnishings. This one, because it's got curved walls everywhere, it's not a built-in bed. The others, you move a bed in, right? You don't have to know how to do construction, because James, his back is to you in the picture, but he has 20 years experience in construction before he had an injury and bringing it in.
Yeah.
Okay, here's some things that volunteers with Fresno State. Question?
Oh, yeah. Are you going to talk about what kind of material you put in?
The sun and the overhang is calculated for this and so on. The sun shines in and warms those bottles on a sunny winter day. And then it takes them a long time to cool off, and they're releasing heat into the room while they're doing that. Because they're trapped between dual cleaning class and students on site. And supervised by James, he's standing there on the porch. It rotates so it can face the sun when you want it to, and face away from the sun when you don't want it to, because it's glass, that's usually on one side. And so, similar to the one that I showed you before that has the walls opening outward and so on. But this was built on site for the Poverello house, and then shipped, it was on site here and shipped to the Poverello house. Then the Poverello house was doing some changes, and they needed to get it out of there to build something else, and so they donated it to us. So next slide, please.
And I just want to point out too, this is
When the Poverello house decided they needed to put other structures in that place, they donated it to the Ecogarden.
wow.
And they not only donated it, they paid for the truck and crane service to deliver it. And so that's it coming in. So that the hot air inside will rise and draw the hottest air out of the room, because there's a register in the ceiling that can be closed in the wintertime and open in the summertime.
Yeah.
So it draws the hottest air out of the room. Well, when you do that, air has to come in somewhere else. It's won 4 architectural awards for Art Dyson. So you notice his stuff doesn't look ordinary.
No.
It's not, boxes.
Right.
No, it's gonna have curves, or it's gonna have a couple of ways of housing people. In the ground floor of that two-story house, that's all community space. Kitchen with solar to power, or help power the house. They aren't enough to cover all the power needs of the house, but they cover a good part of it. And that was a donation, because we're trying to be environmentally friendly. That's part of the mission. And so all the structures out in back have solar power as well, separate from this. Not house current, but low voltage. Okay, next slide. And that's what the front of the house looks like now, after Josh fixed it all up. And the landscaping, got water sink, waters a nearby shade tree.
Very good.
And it's, this is called gray water recovery. And we do this also with our washing machine, that sort of thing, and lots of other things like that. So this is practice of independent living. It's not like some kind of shelter where they're providing everything for you and you just don't have to manage your own life that much. Okay, so next slide. Some more people working in that same kitchen. And now we have an outside kitchen too that was built by Fresno State volunteers.
That's awesome.
From the construction management program. And I got 2 slides of that. And they do all the life business for you. And, oh yeah, that would be easier.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's nobody there. You gotta manage your own life, which is, what we're doing on the site we have now is testing all the models, so to speak. We're building structures designed by Arthur Dyson. Let's have the next slide.
Yeah.
The Eco-Village project of Fresno. So, next. So, we're a regular nonprofit, 501c3, and we had a case manager from Poverello House come by about a week ago, where she was bringing somebody to us to stay there. And we were talking about it, and I told her, when she learned how little money we collect from the residents, $20 a month, Originally, just stay in tents and use the house as a community building. And it's evolved since then. But she bought the property in late 2012, and our first resident moved in 2013. So this will be 12 years coming up later this year. And in that time, we've had 152 residents that we've been able to house that otherwise would have been on the streets. So we're just small. We usually only have around 12 at a time, but there's turnover because we limit the stays to 1 year.